Hi guys, this is David with Great Choice Audio Video, and today's video is about outdoor audio. And let me tell you, that gets super exciting for us because we love outdoor audio because there's such great options today from our partners at James Loudspeaker and Sonance. So I want to show you just a few options today. So when someone comes to us and says, man, we want a nice outdoor audio system, or we want to put speakers in our backyard, we have lots of options from custom stuff from James to you name it. So the main thing we want to decide is the performance level and how you want it to look. So there's a lot of options today for that. So it's super awesome. And I want to show you a few of those. So, for years, this is a Sonance, what I call a box style speaker. It's got a bracket on the back. Typically you got a patio. Hey, I want a pair of speakers. Typically, this is something you would do. Now, these come in multiple sizes. This is a rather large one, depending on the space. But yeah, you have a bracket. These can be mounted vertically, horizontally. It usually goes underneath a soffit or something like that. But some people don't like the looks of these. And these have a certain performance level. These just have typically a mid-range speaker and a tweeter. And sometimes the tweeter's in the middle, whatever, depending on the size of the speaker. And of course, the smaller the drivers, the less bass. And typically, even in the larger ones, you don't get a ton of bass anyway. But this is a great solution for someone who just wants a pair of speakers, but depending on the way they want it to look, this may not be the best option, but it is an option for outdoor audio. So we've done these for many, many years. Now, of course, there is a grill. So just in case you were wondering, do I have to see the driver? No, there is a grill. So there's a grill right there. And you could paint these most of the time. These come in white and black, but not a lot of options on colors. You could probably custom paint them if you wanted to, or wrap them, I guess. But typically white and black is about all you get as far as choices goes. And like I said, there's some different sizes. So there's one option for outdoor audio. It's always funny to me that when people go, hey, I just want some audio outside. I'm like, wow, it's an open door. What's our options here? How do you, what Sonance like to say, how do you want your music to look? And I really like that because there's so many cool options that you can pretty much make your audio disappear. Now, let's go back a step. Audio outside. Well, you're dealing with all the outside elements. If you got a pool, you got, waterfalls, you got, a lot of extra noise. So consistent audio is key. And to get consistent audio, typically more speakers. Not that we're trying to sell more speakers, but more speakers is consistent audio. And here's why. So here's my best example that I've got. I want to compare it to light. If you had a big open room and you put 2 lights over there, do you think it would consistently light the room? No, because over there, you have a little bit of light from that light over there, but it wouldn't be near as bright or near as comfortable. And exactly the same thing with audio. So if you're dealing with a big space with a bunch of seating areas on the patio, a pool, a hot tub, a fire pit, all those sort of things, the more speakers you can put in those areas, the more comfortable the sound is going to be at all levels. Now, do you want it to always play loud? Yes, maybe not. But you may want to play it low and comfortable. So if you're entertaining and having a party and people are talking, but they don't want to have to talk over the music, there's where having a better quality setup with more speakers because it's consistent everywhere. You can have a nice, comfortable volume. So that being said, here's another option. These are called the OWs. And there's a ton of options for outdoor speakers, guys. I'm just going over a few of them, a small percentage. But these are the OWs by James. So if you want a nicer, let's say, higher performance speaker that can blend into the environment in a multiple different ways. So these can be custom ordered. These can be custom ordered as any color you want. We can powder coat these. We can hydro dip them so they're really matching the surface that's being mounted to. There's multiple ways to mount these. I don't know if you can see through here, but there's through holes right there. So on the back, see how flush it is? See how it's flat? Well, you can literally mount this flush against the surface, wire in your speakers, and then it's a nice clean finish. Now, if you have no way of mounting them flush against the wall and you want to mount them a little bit higher, and just kind of like those box speakers, you want to just tilt them down just a little bit, well, there's an option for that. There's a little bracket. This is a separate bracket you can order from James. This is white, but obviously you would, whenever we order the speakers and we need a bracket, it's painted to match the speaker. So whatever color the speaker is, the bracket will be the same color. So, but these mount to the back of the speaker, and it gives us really nice options. As you can see there, there's little screws there to tighten it to get it to the exact angle that you want. So, and again, these can be mounted vertically or horizontally, and they come in many different sizes, for smaller than this and much larger than this. And again, these can come in an 8-ohm speaker, or these can come in as a 70-volt speaker, depending on the setup of the backyard or whatever we were doing. Because you can do a lot of speakers or little speakers, a lot of power. You know, these have the capability of handling 200 watts of power, so you can put some serious power in these. Again, I said these are high performance, so depending on what the application is and the performance levels you're looking for, I mean, this is maybe something that we're wanting to do. A great looking speaker. Of course, it has a grill. Don't worry, I don't want to see the drivers, I get it. And because these can be ordered as marine grade, you can put these wherever you want. They're marine grade for a reason. They're made to be out in the open to get fully wet. So, or they can be ordered for indoor. So they don't have to be marine grade. But again, look at how clean this grill is. Put this bad boy on. I'm gonna show you how clean this is. This is this nice, flush. Look at it, see that? See how clean it is? Ooh, buddy, I'm telling you, that's beautiful. That is a beautiful. Now, here's another cool way. I mentioned 2 ways of installing this. On wall, flush, brackets, angled. Now here's another one. And if you look at any of our past videos, you'll see we've done custom masonry boxes where they're built in. We have 2 of them we just did, matter of fact, where we did them flush in the benches of the fire pit. How cool it'd be in the wintertime. You want to sit in the fire pit and just have your music at low volume, but you don't want speakers around you and all that stuff. In the benches, the concrete benches of the fire pit, we did mason boxes. Put these flush in there. Oh man, fit finish, so nice. So now we didn't do these larger ones, we did a smaller size, but still, they're high performance. They sound great at all volumes, can put a lot of power to it, and great results. So this is another great option for outdoor audio. Now, people all the time used to do the whole rock speaker thing, and I can't tell you the last time we did rock speakers. So in the outdoor landscape, and let's say you got flower beds and all that kind of stuff around the pool or just the backyard, and which is great because that gives us a really good place to hide speakers. You know, you wouldn't necessarily do the box style speaker or the OW speaker if you have flower beds and things of that nature. So it gives us another type of speaker that we need to use. So in that case, we would use a satellite speaker. Now we could use a satellite speaker from Sonance, or we could use a satellite speaker from James, depending on the level you're looking for and the looks you're looking for. So let me show you one. This is the bigger one. This is their 6-inch sat. This is something special right here. Now, what makes it something special is big and heavy, but these can be mounted for trees, surfaces. You can do a big aluminum stake. Usually it's an 18-inch stake that you would use on these because they're so big and heavy. But you can order these whatever color you want. Now there's some standard colors and these are powder coated, but what's really cool, let's say you change your mind. In years you changed something in the backyard and these were ordered as brown, and man, you just don't want them brown anymore. You want them green or you want them yellow or whatever. This is an outer coating. It literally has a couple screws in the back. This slides off the whole, this is just a casing pretty much. Slides off, new one can be ordered, no big deal. You don't have to order a new speaker. Really, really cool. You can't really do that for very many satellite speakers that I'm aware of anyway. So, but these come in 4-inch and 6-inch and 3-inch. And again, these are marine grade, aluminum, super heavy. I just got it right now on a demo stand just for demo purposes only. Let me put this aside, so it's kind of wearing me out. So that's one great option. Again, those can be put in the flower beds, and typically on those, and you can order those as 4-ohm, but typically those, you're doing multiple of those in the flower beds, and we'll order them as 70 volt. Now the 6-inch sats typically tap at 50 watts. The 40s, I believe, tap at 30 watts. So it's a fixed tap. There's no variable tap on those at all. But super high performance, great sounding speaker. Now, if you did satellite speakers, and if you did really any of these speakers, the one thing you are missing is bass. None of these produce any type of bass. So when you're talking about filling the space in a backyard, now if you just put a little bit of audio in the backyard or the patio, you could get by with maybe, you know, a pair of these or so, but you're still missing some low end, and that's really going to make it seem fuller. It's really going to make it sound much, much better. Do you have to do really big subs with lots of power that just really thump? No, but you could. There are some options that would make it definitely sound better. So with that being said, let me take the camera down just a little bit because I got 2 more options down here to show you some subs, and one of my favorites that James makes, the Omni series. So let's check it out. All right, so let me show you a great way to add bass, especially if you're doing satellite speakers in the backyard. So if you actually have a place that you can hide speakers in a flower bed, you don't always have that option, but if you do, then you have the satellite speakers, but you also have a direct barrel sub. So that's what this bad boy is. It's pretty much a big old box. And you can see this thing, you can do an 8-inch sub, 10-inch sub, 12-inch, 15-inch, I mean, how much bass you want. And then usually we'll do more than one of these because of the way you're supposed to, because I said earlier, being consistent from left to right or just do the whole space, you do the same thing with bass. You just wouldn't put one in the corner and call it a day. Now, if it's a small yard, possibly. If it's a large yard, you might use 2 or more, 3, 4, just depends. Again, you're looking for consistent sound throughout the entire space. So what's really nice about these is you don't have to see this. This is buried. You dig a big hole, you put your drainage rock down, put this down into this hole. This whole box is completely underground. The only thing you'll see is this tube. And what happens is you mount the tube on the front, you have this little mushroom head. So typically your ground will come to about right here. So the only thing you'll see is this little top, and this lets the sound of the bass travel up and spread out. And it's super awesome because you can barely tell where it's even coming from, and that's the point. You don't want to be able to tell. It's omnidirectional, but it's directly buried in the ground, which makes it super awesome, and you don't see this big, nasty, ugly little box or big box. So again, they make these in multiple sizes, and typically, you know, we'll use a nice big amp for these. So what James recommends on this particular one is a 1,000-watt amp. So we're typically running this at 4 ohms, 1,000 watts, all the way back to where the equipment's going to be. So this is an awesome. Now you can add this with any of the speakers and hide it into any flower bed as long as you have a place to hide it. Now, you don't always get the opportunity to have a flower bed or a place that you can put speakers in or dig down big holes and place subwoofers like this in. So what do you do for that? Let me show you. Let me get this out of the way. So James makes what they call the Omni series. And man, let me tell you how much I love the Omni series because there's so many great options. And a lot of times we're doing a pool or a backyard setup, there's no flower beds. There's no places to hide speakers. It's all hardscape, it's all concrete going around the pool and everything. So you're like, well, what do you do? Where do you put a speaker at? And you know, we've used the OWs built into the walls of like the waterfalls and things like that. That's great, but we also use these. And so what's so special about these are custom configurable. So obviously there's 4 sides. And so in here are speakers. And you can put one set of, a single speaker just facing one direction. You can put 2, you can do all 4. They can be ordered any way you want. So a lot of times we're putting these in and we only want the audio to face one direction. So we'll just put 2 speakers in. Now these can be ordered as 4-inch speakers or 6-inch speakers, depending again, how much performance you want. And what's really cool is that on the underneath side, let me see if I can show you. These are super heavy. Right there, there's a 10-inch sub underneath. And it's a 4 ohm sub, and it will produce a lot of bass. These are extremely heavy, marine grade aluminum, powder coated. Again, these can be ordered any color you want, any configuration. So what I mean by any configuration, what I love about these is you can order as many speakers as you want, 2, 4, 1, whatever. You can order them as 8 ohm, 70 volt, 4 ohm, sub, same thing, 8-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch. And again, those could be a 70 volt sub or a 4 ohm sub as well. So we ordered this particular one with 2 6-inch speakers, so one in each of these corners, so it's facing, like this. And as you see at the bottom, we have some wires. So we have a set of wires for the 2 speakers, and then we have a 2 conductor that goes just for the sub. So we're running a 1,000 watt amp just to the sub, and then we're running actually a 70 volt amplifier to run all the speakers. We're actually doing 4 of these, and all the, one in each corner of the pool. Because again, like I said, there's no place to hide speakers, and we want something very, very nice looking, but high performance. And this definitely fits the bill. Now, in the Omni series, they make this in 2 versions. This is their flat top version, but they also make it in a planter version, which is super awesome. We have several of those going here next week, actually. And it actually has a taller side where you can actually put plants in there, and it has drain holes in it to drain out the bottom. And again, it's all made to work like that. It's not gonna ruin the speaker, ruin the sub, and it's super heavy, so it's not going anywhere. These things are built to last, and they don't not only sound good, but they look good. And I just love this option because there's so many times that there's just concrete available and no plants, no flower beds, no place to put satellite speakers or direct barrel subs, because we've done those for years and years. So this is another great option that James has come up with that I think just looks really, really good and sounds really, really good. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to get with you and show you some cool options from James and Sonance for outdoor audio, because there's not just one option or one type of speaker that goes outdoors. There's many kinds of speakers, and the thing with James, we can make pretty much anything marine grade. So sky's the limit. All we gotta do is think of it. So anyway, hope this helps you guys. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and we'll hope we see you on the next one. Have a great day.